All right, my best spin yet. Hey, welcome to another edition of Solving Quadratic Equations. Equations where the variables being squared is the highest power. We're going to go get these today, sitting with our home run Quadrus Method, making it happen. Level 5, giving you some more examples on level 5. So this ain't the intro video to level 5. This is that secondary action. All right, so let's just go get it. Let's solve it. We solve them all the same way, so let's roll. By the way, this is Backyard Math 2.0 because now I got a nice board back here. All right, so I'm feeling like I'm moving up in the world. All right, so here we go. We're going to solve this the same way we solve all of them, which is taking advantage of symmetry and the beauty of squares. Now, I'm not going to be able to make this into a nice integer-based square because I can't cut the 3 in half. So let's just go get it. And I even got some new colors today too. I'm feeling like I'm back or something. All right, so here we go. Multiply it all by 4, and you're gonna get 4x squared minus 4 times 3 is 12. Oh, there we go. I like multiplying by 10. Perfect. Gorgeous, right? And the reason we did that is because now I'm going to be able to make this a square. So let's just go ahead and do it. Let's go boom, boom. All right, the 4x squared goes there. That's the first term. So that's going to be 2x and 2x. Lovely, right? I can cut that in half, which I'm going to need to if I'm going to form it into a square. Now this dimension has to be minus 3, right? Because you got to get 2 times negative 3 is your negative 6. Now, this missing piece can't be just whatever it wants to be. It has to be what it's got to be, which is negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. All right. Well, this is the square I want to use. Well, I don't have positive 9. I have plus 40. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. All I'm going to do then is fine. I'll just subtract 31. And I'll start it up right here. That means that 4x squared minus 12x 40 plus 9 is equal to 13. Brilliant! Because now really we're getting set up. We're getting ready to roll. Now I know that this trinomial is modeled over here, so I can rewrite that as 2x minus 3 squared is equal to 13. Now it's a level 2. Where's my drum roll? Level 2 in the house. I'm going to make sure the video's right. Oh, let's see. Okay, there it is. There it is, okay. So something squared is 13. And I'll switch to black now. So we get 2x, that's something. Has to be plus or minus the square root of 13. Cash. Now I'm going to do 2 steps at once. I'm going to add 3 and divide by 2. And I'm just going to finish up in this section of the board. Just like that, okay. So that gives me x. It's going to be plus or minus square root of 13 plus 3 now. Come on, people. Plus 3 divided by 2. Holler. And now some of your friends might be using the quadratic formula. So if you want to show off a little, just, flip those around. You can flip them around if you want. Then it would be 3 plus or minus. This isn't more correct than that in my humble opinion, but this will make it look more like the quadratic formula has it as far as a solution. Isn't that fun? I like it because you can just, you can't be beat with this method. You just can't be beat. That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I tell you what. All right, so it looks like I need to do 2 more problems. So let me really quickly erase this.
And get the next problem up.
Boom. All right. See, there it is. I can work fast when it's time, but it is right now. It's time for you to hit pause and try this problem. Okay, try it yourself on pause. Let's roll. All right. Well, this is a beautiful quadratic equation. I'm feeling confident. The sky is blue. The pen is blue. Let's do this thing. That's an odd number right there. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to cut it in half unless I introduce decimals, but I don't want to introduce decimals. I want to keep it all with integers. So let's multiply everything by 4. Therefore, making sure that this will in fact be even. So let's go with 4x squared plus 44x minus 8 is now equal to 48. Okay, brilliant. Let's start modeling it as a square. So let's go here. I'm going to put my 4x squared. So that's 2x and 2x. You knew that. 44, okay, let's cut it in half. Put half of the 44x's up here. Let's put the other half down here. Got to make this dimension, make it to where that area would be 24x, so that's 12. That's 12 too, and therefore that last part is 144. Unbelievable. Cinderella story. You can't beat that. Although my marker fell on the ground. I got to pick my marker up. All right, there we go. All right, so it's at 144. This is what I'm trying to model. I have minus 8. And this is kind of like, you know, why we call it completing the square. It's the more technical kind of mathy term, I suppose, is we need to complete the square here. So let's see, we got to add 152. Because if we add 152 to minus 8, we'll get 144. And we have to do it to both sides because it's an equation. And we end up with 4x squared plus 44x plus 144 is equal to 200. That's going to be a fun one to simplify. All right, well done. Now we can just, this is a perfect square trinomial, so let's model it with its dimensions instead. 2x plus 12 squared is equal to 200. Beautiful. Level 2 problem in the house. So we cash at this point. We ready to roll. Something squared is 200. And I'm going to switch to blue here. So I'm going to make that blue. Just don't want it all monochromatic. All right. So now that something has to be equal to plus or minus the square root of 200. Excellent. So let's finish the problem right up here. I think this will be a good spot to finish up. Right up in here. Okay, so let's subtract 12 and divide by 2. So x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 200 minus 12 divided by 2. We almost done. We would be done if that was a prime number. We would be done if that number couldn't be simplified, but it can. So, and I'll leave it to you to figure out why, but it's 10 root 2. And that's a very beautiful answer, but I got a little news for you. We got one more step. We do, because we can factor out. These are both even, so I can factor out a 2. And mostly, maybe I'll give myself some room over here. This is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this step because these little closing steps sometimes can be problematic. So I want to make sure I highlight them for you. Really what I'm about to do is I'm about to say that 10 is actually 5 times 2. So I want to bring out the number 2. All right, there we go. Minus, and I'm about to say that 12 is 6 times 2. This is called finding a greatest common factor, or maybe just a common factor. And all of this is now over 2. So what I can do is I can take out that 2, and I'll be left with 5 root 2 minus 6. Okay, so I can take out the 2, and I'll keep it red, right? That's the 2 I'm taking out. And then I'm left with 5 root 2 minus 6 all over 2. And last, but certainly not least, you gotta multiply by 2 and divide by 2. You cancel those. Those reduce to 1. And so the answer, oh, I dropped my plus or minus. It's just gonna be plus or minus 5 root 2 minus 6. All right, great job. See, fun, right? They're great. I look at these quadratics and I'm like, sweet. I'm gonna model you as a square no matter what you do. I don't mind. Okay, it's an art project. I'm gonna erase this real quick and I'll get right back at you. All right, woo. Okay, good. Almost out of energy. Good thing this is my last example. But it's an important example because we have a variable on both sides, and a lot of times students come to me and they say, Mr. Miller, I don't understand this one. Oh, I got the last one, but this one looks different. Hey, it ain't that different. We're fine. Mathematics is playful, flexible. If we want this over here, we can just move it over here. Like, that's really what we want, right? We want all of our variables on the same side of the equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. It's fine. There we go. It's fine. It's not a problem. And now it's just a classic level 5, right? Just a classic one.
No problems. Minus 3x. And in fact, a little side note about this, really what we're doing is this is a parabola, right? So you would graph that like a parabola. That's y equals mx plus b. And so we're really finding the two places that a straight line intersects a parabola. Who knew? All right. Quadrus method. I don't like that. I don't want that to be odd. So let's multiply everything by 4. And let's get 4x squared plus 20x plus 40 equals to negative 24. All right, I'm feeling okay about that. Let's make sure I don't make any mistakes. Let's continue. All right, so let's build this square. So 4x squared is going right there. You know that. I'm sure you feel the game now. I'm going to split up the 20. It's all good. Making a square. I'm just making a square, people. I'm just making a square. Okay, so here we're at 25. I think I might be running into a no solution situation here, though, but that's fine. It's good to see no solution problems. So I'm at 25. That's what I want, but I'm at 40. So let's subtract 25. And what we have then is 2x plus 5 squared is equal to negative 49. And that cannot happen.
Well, I was looking at it for a little bit, but what we get is we get something squared. So let's go with the 2x plus 5. Something squared is equal to a negative. That cannot happen. So this is a no solution. So let me modify my first example. This is actually more like this. Right? It's more like a line and, whoa, what? Man, who put that there? It's more like a parabola and a line that never intersect. All right. Well, I'll tell you it's been a pleasure. I'll tell you it's been a pleasure. I'll tell you the weather's nice. I'll tell you I got your back. Let me know if you need more examples. Be kind to each other, and I hope this finds you well.